My name is Dimitris Gizopoulos. I'm professor at the University of Athens in Greece. I'm happy to serve as the Micro 53 General Chair this year. We are opening the symposium, the main symposium, with this opening session, followed up by the keynote talk, the first keynote talk. Welcome to Micro. It was supposed to run as an in-person symposium here in Athens, when last year the steering committee decided to assign this role to myself and to the organizing committee. Unfortunately, like many other events, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we had to transform this to a global online event. And the steering committee and the technical committees of IEEE and the ACM decided to reschedule the Athens edition for next year. So what we did, we put together a virtual hub. We are using Whova, Zoom for the live sessions, and Wistia to host our videos. What is the content of Whova for everybody attending? We have the full agenda on Whova. We have the full-length videos for each of the talks, pre-recorded videos that authors provided. All of them are the last 3 weeks on Whova, stored on Wistia. We have a lightning talks movie for each day. The lightning talks are 90 seconds per speaker, and we assembled them in a nice movie for the full day. We have the paper PDFs files. We have also the links to the webinars, like the one you are already connected to. We have also, Whova provides exhibitors center, sponsor center, and also messaging and discussion capabilities. Please feel free to use them as frequently as you want. The proceedings. By the way, if you are linked to Whova, connected to Whova, you can see all messages that have been said by the organizers about proceedings, about participating, about anything. So even if you signed up, registered late, you can see everything on Whova in the organizer's announcement point. We are going to run on 3 parallel tracks, the regular sessions. Track 1, track 2, and track 3 correspond to sessions A, B, and C, while everything that is a plenary session, like the opening, the keynotes, the business meeting, etc., is on track, will be on track 1, the one you are right now. So whenever you see 3 tracks, they correspond to the 1 to 3 Zoom webinars. You don't even need to remember this. You just need to click on Whova and go to the corresponding Zoom webinar. I would like to thank the organizing committee. I will spend more time discussing about this in the business meeting later at the end of the day today, but for sure I want to thank Matan and June for having a wonderful collaboration with me and for putting together a very strong technical program, which I hope you will all enjoy the next days. I would like to thank very much the steering committee, and especially Scott Malke, the chairman of the steering committee, for trusting me and for agreeing with the several difficult decisions that we had to make during the year. And I also want to express my many thanks. I'm grateful to the micro general chairs of the 3 previous years that provided me many useful information when we were setting up the in-person event. But also I would like to thank very much the general chairs of the virtual ISCA, the 2 Joses that helped me a lot and helped the organizers of Micro, providing information about virtual events, the experience they had with ISCA. This is a busy slide. It's an interesting slide. However, it includes some information about the attendance. Actually, a couple of hours ago, we were just one attendee short of 1,000. I believe by now we are more than 1,000. And we have 42 different countries participating. In the graph on the right, you see the bar graph, you see the percentages of the countries that have more than 1% people attending, more than 10 people actually attending. And also you see the pie with the continents. We have people from all continents. We have even 7 African countries participating, which is good. I don't think this happens often. And this is what virtual events can provide. Again, I will speak about more details about this later in the business meeting. For the program part, I will ask Matan and June to give more information very quickly. We have 3 keynotes. We have 82 papers in parallel sessions. We have the SRC final session tomorrow. And we had 2 days of very interesting tutorials and workshops on Saturday and Sunday, very well attended, more than 250 people each day. Also, we have 2 live sessions for the CARES initiative, a very important SIGARDS and SIGMicro initiative regarding discrimination and harassment and ways to prevent them. One was held yesterday, one more is held tomorrow. And we have also, we are supporting 2 meet programs where senior architects meet students or where senior students meet junior students. The organizers have used information from the registration and they are setting up meetings. Don't miss, please, the award ceremony on the last day where you will find out who is the winner of this year's prestigious Bob Rao Award on microarchitectural innovation, also the winners of the Best Paper Award, the SRC session winners, and the new entries to the Micro Hall of Fame. Finally, I want to thank so much the corporate sponsors. All of them decided initially to support an in-person event, but they all stayed on board. When we move to the virtual setup, they will take the benefits of in-person events supporting next year, hopefully. So enjoy the activities of these 3 days, and I would like now my co-program chairs to share us details about the program.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing.
So I need to both unmute and share my screen. Just give me a sec. Okay, so good morning or good evening or good night, everyone, wherever you happen to be. My name is Matan Eres, and together with Jun Yang, who will speak in a minute, we had the honor of being co-program chairs for this year's Micro. Just to give you an idea of the paper stats, Dimitri's already told you that we have 82 papers selected for the program, but we actually had 446 papers submitted, which is 30% higher than last year. And it was a huge number, which we're very happy for, especially considering the pandemic and issues related to that. We accepted 18%, which was quite happy with again. And the process sort of ran fairly smoothly, as you'll hear about it in a minute. We had also the benefit of having an online event is the PC meeting was also online, and we were able to host a very large one. So we ended up putting together an international PC program committee of 102 members with additional help from 169 external review committee members, and we're very grateful to all of them for the amazing job they did with all the reviews. So doing such a large PC was challenging for us, but I think we had the benefit of having a reasonable load on the reviewers, and as a result, ended up with a very strong program that I hope you'll enjoy over the next few days. Also, just an idea for the timeline. This is something that, again, we were happy that we were able to do, was extend the deadline a little bit for Micro because of the pandemic. And I think as a result, we were indeed able to get a very robust submission. And I think that helped a lot with both the authors and the program. The review was compressed. We only gave reviewers 5 weeks, but that allowed us to also have a longish rebuttal and revision period and a very, very robust discussion. Some papers had more than 20 comments exchanged. I think the highest was about 50 comments exchanged between reviewers even before the program committee meeting. So it was a great discussion. We organized this into 18 sessions. The sessions are very tight. Dimitris did not give you that overview in the morning, but they're all back to back. We don't really have breaks, so please pace yourselves, but join as many of these as you can. There are 3 parallel sessions and 2 paper sessions on each day. So please take a look and watch the videos ahead of time so we can move forward reasonably quickly. We also selected 4 best paper candidates and a committee to judge them. Those papers are actually distributed across a couple of days, but we have 3 of those papers in session 2 today, 1 in the quantum computing session and 2 in the memory session. They're not overlapping, so you can bounce between them if you want to see all of them and ask questions to help the committee decide which is indeed the best paper. Then there's 1 in session 3B tomorrow, the first paper session tomorrow. Those are top ranked papers that had all positive reviews, all positive comments, consensus from all the reviewers that these are indeed best paper nominees. There's a list here, and of course you can find them on the web page as well. There's 1 in quantum computing, 2 related to memory, and then 1 related more towards optimization and compilation. One very thing we really ask all of you, if you could please help us, is there are 15-minute slots for the papers. And there are only 5 minutes of the talk given to the authors, with the other 10 for questions. But for this to be lively and successful, we really want everybody to, or many of you, to participate. So please ask questions on HOVA, on the Q&A webinar session, or sign up to be questioners. And hopefully this will work okay, where we will promote some of you as panelists during the session, so that it's not just a session chair sort of reading out questions, but we have hopefully a little bit more of an interactive session. Just like the attendees are very international, so was the submissions. We have submissions from a very large number of countries, mostly from the United States, but very robust from Asia, also from Europe. And overall, I think we have a great program, an international one at that. Maybe I'll turn it over to to June now. Give her a couple of minutes because I've been eating up the time. I think you're muted, June.
Okay, let me continue on that. As Matan has explained, we have a very large PC member and a larger ERC members. We used a single round review process. This is to maximize the fairness and balance the work and life between all the reviewers. The load of each reviewer is between 12 to 14 papers, and we are glad we can achieve that load. Because PC members later told us that they're glad that they are not given 25 papers to review. 4 to 6 papers per ERC members. Majority of the papers received at least 5 reviews, and 3 of them are from PC members and 2 of them are from ERC members. 4% of the papers received 6 reviews for more expertise. Only a small number of 3% of the papers received 4 reviews, and then among these, because of lack of reviewers, and those are hard subjects that it's difficult to find enough reviews with high expertise. But then among these 4 reviewers, they reached the consensus that the 5th review is not necessary and they can make a decision. And acceptance rate among these small set of reviewers are 20%, very close to the overall acceptance rate. And the review process was a little bit different from before. We still had the rebuttal and revision period, but during that period, we also allowed authors to ask clarification questions to the reviewers, such as full citations and how do you compare with the concurrent work. We allow the authors to get some clarifications from the reviewers. And we also allow the authors to provide a revision letter and for resubmitted papers that have been previously reviewed. The post-rebuttal discussion process was anonymous, and I will discuss more in the business meeting later in the day. So the decision process during the virtual PC meeting, the decision process is the following. We had a discussion lead that summarizes the papers, including the comments from the ERC papers. Then other PC reviewers will add in their comments. And then we will have 3 of the PC reviewers vote among themselves. If the decision is unanimous, then then the paper is decided. Otherwise, we'll go to a PC-wide vote. But before that, all the 3 PC members will emphasize again their pros and cons. If the voting result is very clear, then the paper is decided. Otherwise, if it's tied, then we need a second round of vote. And paper attack with the PC discussed are sorted into 4 groups of A, B, C, and D. And we used a metrics that has been inherited from previous microconferences, mainly developed by Ono Mutulu several years ago. That metrics was used to rank all the papers that took into account the generosity of all the reviewers. We added additional reviewer confidence into the score ranking as well. Paper discussion order in each group is randomized. This is to minimize the possible bias. Overall speaking, so in interest time, I may skip these statistics. This is, as Matan explained, we have a very live online discussion, partly due to its an anonymous discussion process, and some of the papers received a lot of discussion, more than 50 exchanged messages among all the reviewers. For all the papers reviewed, the expertise level of the reviewers are pretty high, over around 70%, and most reviewers are very confident about their reviews. And lastly, I would like to thank all the people. Without them, this conference wouldn't be possible. So all the reviewers, they did a great job, and they helped a lot. And all the shepherds, this is mostly voluntary PC members who reviewed the papers. And thank all the authors for submitting their wonderful works. And thank all the presenters, and they spent a lot of time preparing all the presentation slides and live videos. And thank all the attendees for contributing to the live discussions, starting from yesterday, the workshops and tutorials, and all the organization committees, Dimitris, and all the web chairs, Saguada and Stefanos and general chair. They spend a numerous amount of time around the clock, and I'm very grateful for them. And all the steering committee members, led by Scott Melke, they provided invaluable inputs to us. And all the PC chairs who helped us run the paper assignment, they gave us a lot of tools, very useful. And finally, I'd like to thank all the student helpers from both UT Austin and Pitt. All right, with that, let's move on to the keynote. So Matan,
Okay.
maybe you can.
All right. I don't think we have a cover screen here. So I'll just go ahead in the interest of time and do a quick introduction. I'm very happy and honored to introduce